Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Mogbe.
I am Tahir Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
And of course, on the program today, we'll be talking about, yes, Eimba, right?
Yes, they know their group opponents. That's for the CAF Confederation Cup. It's safe to say it's a very tricky group.
It's very, very tricky because you have a team from Algeria, from Libya, and of
South
course,
Africa.
Orlando Pirates from South Africa. So they know their opponents in Group A, and that will be a tough one. Also on the program, we will be talking about Edo Queens. They have Edo Queens and Bayelsa Queens. These two teams have been fined by NWFL board simply because, of some issues that happened on match day 6, right? Match day 6 when Edo Queens faced Bayelsa Queens right there in Yenogwa. And because of that, Bayelsa Queens have been banished to Owerri, and Edo Queens coach was also sanctioned. We'll give you details on the program. And we also have something from
the NBA. Of course, the Lakers, they were shocked by the Wizards. Of course, the Wizards have not been great this season, but against the LA Lakers, the defending champions, they were able to prevail 127 to 124 in overtime.
So give them credit, they're actually running on five game winning streaks. 5 games they haven't lost.
Fantastic.
So the Lakers should have understood that these guys are balling. But they did not. Apparently, they didn't see that coming because they squandered that 17-point lead.
They should have seen it coming. Like I said, 4 wins going into that game should have been enough warning for the defending champions. Of course, we'll come back to that game later on. There were other matches that were played in the NBA, and we have all the results. And there you go. The Bulls defeated, it's not defeated, they absolutely smashed the Houston Rockets. Rockets could not propel. It couldn't just go anywhere. 120 to 100. Kobe White with 24 points for the Bulls in that game. And for the Rockets, they've lost 8 in a row. Terrible.
Terrible.
Awful run of form by
I think
Houston.
Right now you can hardly say they are missing James Harden.
Yeah, you can say that now, right? Of course. Let's go on to the Grizzlies and the Mavs. Ended 102 in favor of Dallas to 92 over Memphis. The Miami Heat defeated the OKC Thunder 108 to 94. Bam Adebayo with 19 points and 13 rebounds in that victory. The Blazers and the Suns are just too hot at the moment. 132 to 100. They lit them up big time. 132 to 100. 32-point win. Of course, Devin Booker was the star of the show. We'll come back to that game much later as well. Of course, can't forget about the Utah Jazz. Cecilia, surprise team of the season. They're still playing so well. 132 to 110 over Charlotte. A franchise night for them as well too. 28 3-pointers for the Utah Jazz, including 19 off the bench in their victory over Charlotte.
Great one.
Great one indeed. Let's go on to the Lakers and the Wizards. 124 to 127 in favor of Washington, like we said. And Bradley Beal and Cecilia's guy, Russell Westbrook, played crucial roles in that victory.
They were awesome, and that's the game we were talking about this morning.
Let's go.
You look at the Lakers, when the game started, I said, watch it first, second quarter.
And they were leading comfortably.
17 points. I'm like, okay, let me just get ready for work and all
something else.
And before I know what's happening, it was already, it was now a 3-point game. The Wizards were leading. And of course, there was a time we thought, okay, Lebron James had some couple of shots, I think 2 shots, and then he was supposed to have made it 3, but he missed that free throw. It was tied 115, 150. Of course, they went on a break. It has to go into overtime. And when the Wizards came back, Bradley Beal was left all alone, and the guy just had to do some ridiculous movements.
You can say that
And at the end of the day, LeBron James, that fadeaway jump that he had, the shot to make it 115, 150, with less than 10 seconds left on the clock, was more like a history right now, because I thought after that, the Lakers will come and smoke in 5 more minutes to play overtime. The Lakers will have this one. But somehow it just wasn't to be, because Bradley Beal on the night, 33 points. Russell Westbrook, yes, he's back. 32 points on the night. So both of them actually combined for this winning. Where do you say Lakers losing streak? It's now 3. Not good.
Not good
James
enough.
had 31 on the 9, 13 assists and 9 rebounds, just 1 shot of triple-double. But then it just wasn't enough for him.
For the Lakers, it's not good at all. They've now lost 4 in 5 as well, too. So they need to try and fix that rut and stop the rut as soon as possible. We talked about Bradley Beal. 6 of his 33 points came on 3 consecutive possessions late in overtime. So pretty much...
Because it was left all alone. I mean, the defense was so poor.
Exactly, and it was the one that just won the game. For the Wizards, of course, it's the first win at Staples Center since March 2017.
It's a long time ago.
Exactly, and like we said, they've won 5 in a row, which is their longest winning streak in 3 years.
How bad were the Wizards?
They were really bad. They've been bad, but it's good to see them playing well again. Hopefully, the good thing for the Wizards is they're in the East, and they've got a very good chance of still making the playoffs. It's not the most competitive league in the world. We're going to listen now to the Wizards. We'll come back to the Lakers later. Let's listen to the Wizards. Bradley Beal, of course, is very excited. It's good to see Bradley Beal on the winning side. A lot of the times it plays ever so well, and we have to come back and say, oh, Bradley Beal has lost the game, but not this time again. So let's get a listen. Let's take the post-game reaction, not coming from the Lakers, from the Wizards. Bradley Beal speaking after that victory over the LA Lakers.
First, praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The coach really wanted me to make a play going downhill at Gasol. On the upper under specifically, I lost the ball initially, and it was better. I actually regained possession of the ball, and I seen Kuz jump before I did, and I know early in the game, he actually blocked my shot on the fast break, and so I just hit him with an upper under. I know I work on that a lot, so I was real frustrated because I didn't close it out in regulation like I should have. So I just played with more aggression in overtime.
Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. Fantastic night for him. 33 points in that victory over LA. Let's go to the other camp now, the Lakers. Frank Vogel, of course, is a very disappointed man after the Lakers lost their 4th in 5 games.
To see exactly what happened during that stretch, but give them credit. Yeah, we gotta continue to look for the right balance. They have two elite scorers down the other end. That had us with the lineup out there that we can make sure we can get enough stops to try to win. Some guys stepped up to hit big shots. With I think Kenny and Alex both hit threes towards the end of the 4th there. And, we got to continue to find ways to lighten his load.
The Lakers have lost 3 in a row, their longest losing streak for the season. And coincidentally, it's all happened without Anthony Davis.
Yes.
So,
Dennis Schroeder is also not around. I mean, but he should be back. I think he'll be back maybe.
AD is the man.
AD is the man.
AD
right?
is the man.
He's out for a month, so
they'll struggle.
They'll struggle.
Yeah.
They'll struggle.
All right. Cecilia, let's move on now to the Suns.
Okay.
We talked about them lighting up the Blazers. That's exactly what it did. 132 to 100. And of course, it was all about Devin Booker, 34 points on the night. DeAndre Ayton, 19 points as well, as the Suns kept rolling, to a 132 to 100 victory. Booker was the star of the show, like I said, 12 of 17 from the field. And he also made 3 points attempts as well, twice, and 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Phoenix have won 9 of its past 10 games. One of the most informed teams in the NBA.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're playing against a Portland Trail Blazers, sometimes you feel that there's some players that will come on top. Damian Lillard, for instance, you could have expected like a 30-point game from him. But on the night, he just had 24 points. And that response, obviously, was so poor compared to what Devin Booker had to put up. And that's why he did all the damage.
That's why he did all the damage, indeed. Let's listen to Devin Booker now and DeAndre Ayton.
Just like you said, just being ready. It's been great communication, amongst the team, amongst the coaching staffs. Everybody's locked in. I think that 4th quarter in New Orleans, I think we talked to each other a lot and communicated a lot. And ever since then, it's been real effective for us. So, obviously it's not always going to be like this. We're not going to make all shots, but, our defense is something that we can rely on. and it's been well for us.
Well, we knew Portland was a big game. We knew we were fighting for a spot, and you know how that was. We knew what we had to do tonight, and we got the job done. We were locked in the shoot around. The guys, you could feel the energy from when you stepped in the gym. Guys was ready to play. Guys was ready on the floor, working out, getting ready, putting up shots, and they just carried into the game. And D-Book, man, D-Book has shown stuff like beyond All-Star. Like, he's been an All-Star. You know, we've been know D-Book is a bucket, but like him scoring the way he's scoring, and the way how he's carrying us, and the way how he's leading us through his style of play, it's insane.
DA, after a fantastic performance with 19 points against the Blazers, it's interesting to know that DA has got a Nigerian father.
Yeah.
So that's
okay.
another one we can...
That's
another one.
Talking.
I mean, that's another option. Let me just look at that one.
It's got the Bahamas also.
Yeah, it was Bahamas in basketball. They're not going to the Olympics.
We know that's right. How many players can you actually bring into the national team?
As I said,
you just need 12 players.
Like I said, it's just another option.
Yeah,
just
another option, right?
That's
so
what it is.
You won't start getting everyone. If you have Nigerian blood, please come. Indicate interest and they'll come for you. That's all of that. I mean, we're not begging teams to come play for the national team. We've got a good team. Good players, right?
All right, before we leave the NBA, quickly, let's talk about this thought for the Rockets.
Yeah,
serious problems.
That's ridiculous.
In a row.
You know, when they started winning, I mean, when you have Victor Oladipo coming in and all that, you know, James Harden leaving and they were winning, they won their first 3 games, right? I mean, not really like good games. At least you have them winning 3 in 4, you know, 2 out of 3, you know, just like that. But now, I mean, the last 8 games has been really woeful. And you're asking yourself, how is the Rockets fizzling out every time? So again, last night, they fizzled out.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Not good against the Chicago Bulls.
And
Kobe
the Bulls
White.
that you're looking at,
like I said, of course, the Bulls are not the best. They're now amongst the best teams in the NBA. But against the Rockets, they were able to score 120 points. And that goes a long way in telling you how porous the defense of the Rockets were on the night. Kobe White, like I said, was the star of the show in that game. And afterwards, of course, the coach of the Houston Rockets is understandably disappointed. Let's take a listen now to Stephen Silas.
Yeah, I mean, it was 22-7. We came back and then started the third quarter. They got away from us as far as our defensive principles, our chemistry, togetherness, all of the things, play hard, all of the things that you need to compete in an NBA game. And we didn't have that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at, the Rockets,
players
I mean, PJ Tucker, what happened? He blanked 3, had 22 minutes on court, and he missed 3 field goal shots.
Wow.
So he blanked all through. Then you have John Wall, the guard, who was expected to at least come out top. But then he made just 4 of his 14 attempts to shoot at 28%.
Not good enough.
You know, and at the end of the day, he had just 15 points. I'm talking about John Wall right here.
Yeah, well, so all those guys, they will need to step up the game.
Time.
John Wall, PJ Tucker, Victor Oladipo. It's a strange one that they let DeMarcus Cousins go. I don't know what they're trying to achieve with that one, because I thought Cousins...
Yeah, he blended well, started well.
Exactly, and one of their locker room leaders as well. So I guess they want to go young. And
going young and you don't have leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, they should ask questions about some teams that try to do that.
All right, then. Let's take a look at that standout performance before we go away from basketball. Of course, Russell, Cecilia's guy, 32, 14, and 9 for the Wizards. Next up is Bradley Beal, his teammate, 33, 7, and 6. Last but not the least is King James. Unfortunately, was in a losing effort, 31, 9, and 13. All right, so that's it for the NBA now.
That's it for 4 and 4. Okay,
Who's
that's
that?
it. Devin Booker.
Devin
Just
Booker.
saw him.
All right, Devin as well. Of course, don't forget Devin.
Precisely. I mean,
Surely's got to be an all-star
of
this
course,
year.
isn't it? Okay, we'll leave the NBA and quickly go to boxing, right? That's what we have next.
Yeah.
Okay, what's happening?
What is that to talk about?
Canelo, okay, just the fact that he faced off with his opponent that he's going to face this weekend. Canelo Alvarez and Avni Yadri faced off for the first time in Miami. And, of course, that was after they conduct their COVID test and all that. So, Canelo, we know, his record standard 54 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. But then he will be defending his WBC, WBA, Super, and
Ring magazine
as well. It's just so many against just one man.
This is the guy.
WBC is a mandatory challenger. So he needed to just... it will take him out of the way on Saturday, I think.
A lot of fans, Cecilia, a lot of boxing fans, they weren't too impressed and when Canelo announced that he was going to be defending his titles against Avni because they're on 2 different levels. But you've got to give Canelo credit.
He's the mandatory challenger, so he's not going to breeze past him or just say, okay, I don't want him or go.
Exactly. But what people are saying is because Canelo is way better than the guy, should have fought somebody else. But then Canelo has earned the right to choose
his opponent,
his challenger, because we know historically he doesn't duck anyone.
No,
he fights everyone. He fights like the other time he said, didn't he just fight towards the end of last year? Why is he fighting again?
Yeah.
Took the title of Smith or the other guy's name, you know, and he's already going to do another one against him. We expect him to get the job done in this one and look to take another super middleweight title this time off Billy Joe Saunders. You know,
I think that's the one everyone is definitely waiting for, and not this one.
Not this one. Boy, he cannot afford to look past this guy because it's still boxing.
Sometimes you just have to focus on it and not look past your opponent right in front of you. Because what happened to Anthony Joshua, remember?
There you go. We're talking about what was he talking about? Facing and look past Andy Ruiz.
And then what happened?
But Canelo is not that kind of.
He's going to take it serious, right?
Very seriously.
Okay, we'll leave boxing and quickly go to tennis. Joe Wilfred Songa, I know you've not heard of him for a while simply because he's been injured. But then he came back and, well, he lost again. But it's all about injury and all that. You know, when you have things like that happening. Okay, pictures we're seeing is actually that of Australian Open. I mean, aftermath of what happened. After what happened,
it was
you know,
successful
it was a huge success and all that.
Bottom line. Let's talk about Joe Songa. Yeah, it was a successful competition. They've done very well, but it's the other competitions now. They need to take a cue and see how they can host a very good event. The Rod Laver Arena, of course, hosting the final between Novak Djokovic and...
Welcome back. We have Rotimi Akindele in the studio this morning. Rotimi, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Sisi. Good morning, Taya.
It's great to have you, Rotimi.
Yeah, been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Yeah, been a minute, right? Okay. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys can talk to us on our Twitter handle. The Super Falcons are in action right now. They're leading 3 goals to nothing. I mean, these girls are really great. Against Equatorial Guinea, anytime, it's always like that. Equatorial Guinea has been beating us just twice, right? 2012, 2008.
It's a different ball game.
But this is an invitational tournament.
Exactly.
So they are in action against Equatorial Guinea right now this morning. To really end up, Asisa Toshola, Charity are those girls that have giving them the goal. So talk to us about Super Falcons and see if they can win this Turkish Cup, right? They just need to win it. First time competing and maybe first time also winning it. It's possible. Enyimba were drawn against a very tough group. I mean, you have AST, you have Orlando Pirates, then you have Ahadli Benghazi of Libya. And these sides are going to be a tough one for Enyimba, according to what most pundits are saying. So tell us if Enyimba can actually make it out through the group stage of the CAF Confederations Cup and enter the knockout stage. Also, we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea in action against Atletico Madrid. That game, of course, is not in Spain. It's away from Spain. It's in Romania, Bucharest, right? So, to see if Chelsea will be able to beat Atletico Madrid, I mean, a neutral field. That's what it is. But Luis Suarez on the other side, and we'll see how that will pound up. But tell us about that. Also, UEFA Champions League night. Will Chelsea be able to continue their winning run, unbeaten run under Thomas Tuchel in the Champions League? We'll see about that. Okay, where do we go now? Now, the bobsled team.
Let's talk about
I mean, something really good. I mean, when we at the 2018 years, Winter Olympic Games in Pyeongchang, at that time, you know, we had Sheon Adigun and the other girls, you know, representing us. We were all born in the US, Simi and all that, skeleton team and the bobsled team. But right now, you have 6 athletes, all homegrown, trained right here. So for the first time, they would be leaving the country to South Korea to train in that same, that same 2018 track where Nigerian debut in the Winter Games for 1 month. I mean, I know Pyeongchang is very cold, so I don't know how they're going to cope. But there is an opportunity for them to actually use our ice rink to train ahead of the Winter Games 2022.
And I think that's a brilliant move. Whoever's put this together, I remember the federation came up when we had talks of, probably we'll get representatives to go to represent Nigeria at the Winter Games and all of that. And they've been able to, we've been able to see growth now. So we saw some individuals coming together as a team at first, and now we can see homegrown folks. I'm sure, they were the type that had used this constructed, tools or devices now, to practice. And now that they'll get a chance to be there for for 1 month, I think it's brilliant. I think it's kudos to the federation, kudos to the ladies that actually led, the vision as well. And the fact that they were able to spot, I remember they had these open trials.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they're able to pick like 6 from Nigeria that could go out there, I can only wish them all the very best. So whether they go on to win medals at the Winter Games, it's a different ball game. But the fact that we can see a steady growth in that sport, I think it's brilliant.
This is what development is all about.
Exactly.
Nothing more.
It wasn't just a one-off. We're thinking after that 2018, we won't see
and
them.
then we'll probably wait till another group says, we want to go.
Again. But then they just continue developing it here at home, and these 6 athletes will have an opportunity to be there in South Korea
Great exposure
and see where it all started for Nigeria to actually spend 1 month training and see how far they will go. They will be leaving the country at about 1 p.m. today to Pyeongchang in South Korea.
All the best. Safe travels.
Safe travels for all of them. Okay, leaving that and quickly talk about the Women's League. I mean, when it all started, we were like, okay, yes, the first league to start in Nigeria. Right now, we're having some issues with clubs. What is happening? Pitch invasion. I mean, we saw clips and pictures of that game, coming from some camps and all that. We have fans actually entering the pitch and everything. And first of all, the NWFL, I remember when we spoke with Aisha Falode on the show, she talked about, she talked about the fact that fans are not supposed to be at the stadium, but then they've left it with each state and each club to know how many they can have, maybe not more than 50. But the numbers we saw were more than that. And for the fans to also encroach the pitch and also, being with players and officials and all that, wasn't good enough, and that's why they've been fined.
They're in trouble.
They're in trouble right now.
Bielsa and who else again?
Edo Queens also. I mean, they played that game. I mean, right now, because of that incident that happened, Bielsa Queens have been fined 2.5 million naira and be banished to Dan Ayin Stadium in Owerri, Imo State, for their next home game, which is going to be March 3rd. That's when their next home game. That's when they'll be playing their next game at home. So instead of them playing in Yenogwa, they will now have to go to Owerri to play.
I like the
quick fix.
The quick
judgments.
Maybe the quick approach from the NWFL. First was I think the team involving Ibom Angels, Akwa Ibom, where there was an assault or supposed assault on the referee, and then the NWFL actually came up with a good hammer. This time around, it's Bielsa Queens and of course the Edo Queens as it were. So I like the fact that this being attended to. Details have been paid to whatever is happening on and off the pitch, and everybody can see the seriousness, from the league organizers, and how they want to ensure that this season goes smooth. This season goes on. I mean, we don't want to have any stoppages or issues, especially surrounding protection of players and officials, and those are the main protagonists. So I like the fact that this is coming up. And then hopefully the teams can learn. If Bielsa Queens gets to travel to Imo State for their next home game, I'm sure they can go back home and tell their fans or supporters, if we misbehave again, we get to leave this town. So whatever excitement that you guys have when the team is at home, you guys can actually manage it, and then let us have a smooth fixture. And
that game was a high-scoring game, ended 3-2 in favor, of course, of the home side and all that. But the fans' harassment of the visiting teams and also some officials wasn't okay at all. And for the part of Edo Queens' coach, talking about Roland Seode, his was that immediately after the game, he gave an interview. He was verbally attacking the referee and all that, calling his calls into questions and everything. And that's what NWFL board frowned at. They didn't like that. And of course, because of that, he was fined 500,000 naira. So next time when he's talking about match officials, he should be, I mean,
I think
they
should ensure he pays.
He pays, yes.
Before probably being stationed in the dugout again for the next home game. I think that's how it will get to him. If you leave it to do it, maybe within the window of the season, he might still go on and say more. You're going to have another 500,000.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Exactly. So I feel they should ensure he pays or his club pays that fine before he gets sit in the dugout. If he doesn't pay, then don't allow him sit at least until he's paid.
Yeah, that's really not good because we keep we listen to coaches most times immediately after games. I mean, the way they talk about referees, you just be wondering, these refs are humans, no matter what they have done.
There's nothing wrong with talking about referees.
Exactly.
Well, as long as you don't question his integrity.
And that's what he did. That's verbal attack. So that's what the NWFL used.
The referee can disagree with his decisions and calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be careful and don't go over the line.
He went over the line, so he needs to pay for that.
All right. Let's get on with the show now. Cecilia.
The fines and everything.
Rotimi is going to talk about the CAF Confederation Cup. We're all waiting, looking forward to seeing who Aimba we're going to draw. And we know that right now, Cecilia, it's not easy at all because these sides are very good sides historically, starting with ES Setif. ES Setif in 2010 became the first fully professional club in Nigeria. And they've got history with Nigeria as well, too, because they beat Wanya National, that was in 1988, the African Champions Club. So they're a good side. Orlando Pirates. I don't know why Cecilia is shaking when you hear South African clubs. I'm not worried at all about that one.
I think I'm on the same page with you.
All right. The last team is Ali Benghazi, Libya as well. They're not the biggest side in Libya. Rotimi, what do you make of this group? Let me just ask you straight away. Is it tough? Is it tricky? Is it easy peasy for the Elephants?
Well, so I feel it's a group Aimba can qualify from.
Absolutely.
Based on Aimba's pedigree, based on the exposure they've gotten over the years, on the continent, traveling on the continent. To be fair, probably they are the most experienced Nigerian side when it comes to navigating Africa's continental engagements and all. But then again, looking at ES Setif, for me, because of the way the North Africans have always, they run the best club football on the continent, no doubt, North African teams.
Exactly.
If you look at teams from Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, and maybe Algeria, they have that template that usually works for them. That's the only team for me that should trouble Aimba. And if Aimba are not careful, they might crash out if they get complacent. But if they can go past, if they can get all wins at home.
9 points.
9 points.
That's good.
I was telling someone when the draws were made last night. I said, or yesterday, I said 10 points will get Aimba through. He said, how? Win all your games at home, and then beat or draw Orlando Pirates in South Africa. As far as I'm concerned, they've not had a good season. They've not been having a good season in the PSL. Al Ahly, Benghazi, the Libyan league just resumed just some few weeks ago.
So those guys should be rusty.
So, I mean, if you look at all of this, it's advantage Aimba. But if Aimba can get all wins in her back, 9 points on the cards, and then look at Setif, look at Benghazi, look at Pirates, where can we get at least a point from this? I'm not saying don't aim for 3 points, but where can we get at least a point? I think the sure bet for me should be in South Africa against Orlando Pirates. If Rivers United can go on to beat Bloemfontein Celtic at home, why not aim by going on to Orlando Pirates and get a result? So I feel it's not that difficult in court for Aimba. So at least they should do enough to get out of this group.
Yeah. Let's take a look at other groups. We have other groups. I mean, in Group B, if we can see that we have RS Berkane of Morocco, you have JS Kabylie of Algeria, Cotton Sports of Cameroon, and NAFSA Stars of Zambia. That's in Group B.
The first two will qualify.
Group C. The first two will qualify. You already know Morocco and Algeria this weekend. And Group C, Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia, or you have the Young Buffaloes of Eswatini at Swaziland. Both will contest that one. They need to play that against Asias Sofiane also in action, Tunisian side. Salitas of Burkina Faso, and of course, Giraffe of Senegal are some of the other teams in this group. In Group D, Raja Casablanca of Morocco is there. You have Pyramids of AJ, Nkana of Zambia, and of course, Manugo of Tanzania, or the Augusto of Angola. That's another team that in Group D. And we have to take a look at how Aimba games are going to be. You talked about they need to win the 3 home games. And of course, their first game is going to be at home against Ahali of Benghazi, which is, get 3 points from that. Then go to Orlando Pirates and see if you can get something. ESATIF, back home and away.
Fixtures for Aimba, right? The ESATIF game.
Okay. At least get
just
4 points.
Of a possible 6, just get 3.
3, okay.
As far as I'm concerned, 3 should be safe.
Okay. Then you have the one for April Al-Ahib Benghazi. Maybe after beating them at home, they'll go away and pick up a point or another one. The Orlando Pirates, of course, is the last one. Also, home game. So
and I hope they have enough plans resources. Because this game, resources as well. Yeah. These games are coming in back to back.
April.
It's Aimba, like
that's tough. That's pretty tough.
They've very experienced.
Well, they're well experienced,
in this kind of situation. So they should have everything all figured out. All right, then. So that's it for Aimba. All the best to them as they begin their campaign in the CAF Confederation Cup group stage. Let's go on to Europe now. And
okay. Let's go to Europe. Okay. Yeah, we're thinking we'll be able to speak to the coach of Fatel Show of Aimba, talking to us about it. Maybe some other time we'll get him on the show to react to that draw, how they intend to approach it, and all that, monitor some of the games of their opponents to see how they'll be able to get something out of that. Why are you smiling?
Because
okay, let's go to Europe.
We're in Europe, in Turkey. The ladies are there. So.
Yeah. Okay, talking about the ladies, 4-0 now, right?
It's 5 actually.
5 now. Okay, I can't keep.
Can you please be merciful on your fellow Africans?
Yeah, it's just Equatorial Guinea. Come on, after scoring 1-1 in the first 2 games, right now they're packing all the goals.
They're running right.
You're running right now.
Anyways, let's go to Europe as well, too, where it's likely we're going to see a few teams scoring quite a number of goals today. The 2 matches, round of 16, Chelsea taking on Atletico Madrid. That looks like the standout fixture, looks like the most competitive fixture. All right, then. But there's also Bayern taking on Lazio as well. So those 2 games are very, very important. And those are the 2 matches we're going to talk about now. So let's start with Chelsea and Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
Atletico Madrid. Rotimi, what's going to happen in this one? Atletico Madrid, top dog in Spain. Chelsea still unbeaten under Thomas Tuchel, even though they had a disappointing result last time out against Southampton.
They were not expected to win.
What?
So it wasn't disappointing?
No, Southampton, they've been poor. That was Southampton's first points in a long time.
Since January.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about this game then.
Don't mind me. Anyway, Atletico Madrid, yes, top dog in Europe, but somehow have lost, have hit a low in the last 2-3 weeks.
Didn't they lose at home?
I mean, they lost at home just on Saturday, last Saturday to Levante. Yeah. Nobody saw that coming. And then at some point when we were all talking about, Atletico Madrid, just wrap up the league and focus your attention on Champions League. And now it looks like the league is even slipping away, as it were. So, but we'll wait to see how that pans out. That's for La Liga and Atletico Madrid. But in this game, it's at a neutral venue. Doesn't even give them any sort of advantage. So, and then we saw what happened between Leipzig and Liverpool last week. Played at a neutral venue. All of the forms for Leipzig, went south, and then Liverpool did a smash and grab 2-0. So it might happen for Thomas Tuchel and his side tonight because it's a neutral. It's at a neutral venue. Atletico Madrid, as I said, bad form lately. They probably want to bounce back. But for Chelsea, they've been on a steady run. Under Tuchel, they're still unbeaten. So they will go with that sort of confidence, into this particular time. And then, who knows? Tuchel has always been that sort of manager that loves to play with, that loves to play tactics. For Diego Simeone, you can actually predict his style of play. So whatever happens tonight, I feel Chelsea still has an advantage over 2 legs based on current form.
Interesting. All right, then let's go and get the pre-match thoughts of Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, I feel clearly yes. It's very easy to answer. I love what I see on a daily basis here in Cobham. I love what I feel. I love what I see. The quality, the intensity in training, and the enthusiasm. the hunger to compete. I like what I feel, a strong bond between the players. I feel a strong club. This is for sure a test, and this is for sure a big test, sportive, physically and mentally. This is a very experienced group. This is a very experienced club on this level. This is a very experienced and tough coach to play against. Yeah, it's a big test, and this is exactly what we want. We want the biggest test because it brings out hopefully the best in us, and we will do it on our way, and they will play their way.
All right, then. You heard from Thomas Tuchel ahead of tonight's game against Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
Cecilia, I mean...
Massive mental strength test for them.
Chelsea fans are at the same stage of the competition. I'm sure they won't forget what happened against Bayern because they were absolutely flogged. A 7-on aggregate in that
It's
game.
a German side. Right now they're facing the Spanish side, so it's a bit different.
So
right?
they just need to banish...
That was a different ball game.
What I'm saying is they need to banish those memories.
Yeah, the memories. I agree.
And also know that 7 games unbeaten in all competition under Thomas Tuchel, so it's also an advantage for them. And for the fact that Atletico Madrid lost the weekend, we didn't expect them to lose that game.
And they're not playing at home.
They're not playing at home, you know, they're playing away and all that. So it shows that, yes, they've got it all covered. So if only they can take advantage of that and win it. That's all they need. Take advantage of the fact that
I think it might just play out like the United Sociedad game in the Europa League.
That high scoring kind of...
I don't know about high scoring, but because... because it was
too.
played at a neutral venue.
Yeah.
All of the balls around Sociedad, they're formed this season.
Was
all went what?
Okay, all right.
Just saying. So.
All right.
So Bucharest, that's when the game will be played, right?
Yeah, Romania.
Okay.
All right. We need to go on a break now. Cecilia wrote to me. I will come back. We'll talk about Bayern and their match against Lazio. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We spoke about Eimba and knowing the group opponents earlier in the show against Setiv, Orlando Pirates, and Benghazi. We have the coach now online and ready to talk to us about that group. Fatayo Shaw is his name. Good morning, Coach, and it's great to have you on the show. Good morning, Coach. All right, then we kind of lost Coach Fatayo Shaw. I will try and reconnect and get his thoughts on that group for Eimba in the CAF Confederation Cup. While we wait for the reconnection, let's talk about Bayern and Lazio. That's the second game for tonight, and you're laughing like it's a.
Bayern are wounded. The reason he's laughing because Bayern are wounded. They lost to Frankfurt at the weekend. And all that
we just
stuff.
saw
that was expected.
That
was expected.
Because the game they played before that was 3-3 draw and all that.
Yeah,
that game,
that was.
and
then they just came back from a long trip to Qatar, where they went on to win the Club World Cup, and then playing against Arminia Bielefeld. It was a shocking result, the fact that they couldn't even win that fixture. And then going into an entrant Frankfurt game, Frankfurt were a much better side than Arminia Bielefeld.
So
it was no surprise, 2-0, 2-1, in that particular game. So going into this fixture, Lazio as well, probably not, how will I put it now, not one of the best sides in the Serie A as it is now. So I think it's an open game.
Okay.
A struggling Bayern up against a not so convincing Lazio just makes it all balanced. But then again, you still probably want to give your advantage to the defending champions, Bayern, based on the quality they've got. And that's talking about looking at their personnel now. So I think whatever happens, Bayern won't lose scandalously, or we'll probably go on to win this one and then make the second leg a mare for Malte.
Especially when we're talking about the Champions League, we know what they can do to big teams.
Exactly.
But Lazio is not a big team, so we don't know how they will play this one because they know how to beat the big teams. Chelsea was a big team. I mean, Barcelona, of course, I know that. And at the end of the day, you just wonder what they will come up with. Well, we'll see what's going to happen tonight. Lazio and
Lazio will take confidence from the last two results. That's for Bayern. There's a chink in their armor, and they will try to take advantage of it.
I don't think they should concentrate on that because I feel whatever happened in those results for Bayern, was fatigue, maybe, especially in the game against Bielefeld.
Yeah.
And then maybe just trying to
Frankfurt?
recuperate or still basking in the euphoria of, we've won everything.
World Cup
and then maybe they just gassed out or something. Yeah.
All right, we have Fatasho back online with us this morning to tell us, what he thinks about the group. Enyimba, everyone has been saying, is a very, very tough draw for Enyimba. Coach, how do you see this playing out?
Yes, you're quite right about that. Quite a difficult group. You want to look at the pedigree of the teams in that group, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. We want the team has been African champion. Same with Enyimba, sometimes adapt. And same thing for Orlando Pirates, they won the CAF Champions League. And the Bengali, Ali of Benghazi team, they have been consistent on the continent of late. Most of the time, they are the one representing their country. They are always at a good stage. They're quarterfinal. It's going to be a very, very difficult battle for everybody. None of these things will be comfortable. Looking at the draw, but then the thing that showed I responded that the hunger is there. Maybe that will be the underlying factor.
Oh, okay. Obviously, it's going to be a tough one for Enyimba, as you mentioned. But if you check the way these games are, March, April, it's going to be very, very tight and compact. How will the management approach this game and ensure that maybe in terms of traveling, logistics and all that, everything are put in place? So the only thing you have to worry about is how the players are going to file out against these very tough opponents that you have in the group.
It's not new to Enyimba Football Club. We have people here who have loads and loads of experience at the continental level. What the draw you have now is not different from what we had last season when we played the Confederation Cup. We play. I remember in particular, we were playing Naba, and as the team was going back on Monday, we started to follow them to their country. The day after, it was like that. Since I applied to them, go outside the country to play, and as we're coming back, you see the other team also on their way to their next match. So it has to do with planning, and we are lucky we have people who have the experience, so they can arrange all these things. And if there's any, the difficulty there could be the number of matches that has to be played within a very short time. And we have playing personnel to actually rotate and see that we don't exhaust anybody.
Okay. All right. So, Coach, before we let you go, what do you think your chances are of progressing from this group?
Yes, our chances will go from any other to see other things. It's not that thing in the competition. At this stage, you don't see minus again. If you have of that impression that this is a small team, whatever, now then that might be your greatest unknown. You have to respect everybody. That's the way I always see football. And no matter how strong you are, you've got to respect everybody. The Raja Casablanca of this world, the Orlando Pirates of this world, they can't start looking down on the other things. Or maybe they're looking for a shocker. Our chance, we want to find ourselves actually go all the way. If we decide not to win, somebody will stand up, rise up there and pick it up. And so why must we cancel ourselves out? That's not a good thing to do. So we want to be positive in the way we see things. And it all starts with the first match. I think the Libyans are the one coming now to about the 10th of March. So let's see it as a match at a time. You win your first match, that puts you in a very good position going forward in the competition. And after the first match, we start looking at what and what we can do next to get the wins. And if the wins are coming, we stand a very good chance of actually winning the trophy.
Okay. All right, then, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. Of course, I wish you all the best in this particular competition. Hopefully, you can bring it home for Nigeria. All right, then, before we look at the papers, let's give you updates coming from the Turkish Gold Women's Cup, where the Falcons are absolutely annihilating Equatorial Guinea This I thought was going to be the tougher.
Toughest. Okay, no, it wasn't because they don't have. It wasn't. The toughest would have been Uzbekistan or maybe CSK mostly because those guys have been playing.
Yeah,
I mean regularly.
Uzbekistan defeated the same Equatorial Guinea side
5-0 right now. Yes, just at the end of first half.
Wow.
Is it first half? We're not talking about full time. First half, 45 minutes. I mean, 43 minutes. Yes, it was 7-0. So at the end of first half, 45 minutes, it's 7-0. Equatorial Guinea. Last time Nigeria actually met them. 2018, right? At the Nations Cup, right? In Ghana. It was 6-0, right? Okay, now, I'm looking at this one. I'm like, okay, 7. It's an invitational tournament. It's the first and the Falcons are gathering. So the first time they are playing after since October 2019. So it's a good way to wrap up that group stage.
Indeed.
Okay, indeed. Let's just take 1, 2 before we leave the studio. We're running out of time now, right? Okay, how many do you have to take? Just 1 for wrap up there. Okay. Dr. Kenneth says, proud of Aimba. I genuinely hope they qualify and get to the finals this time. Yeah, I hope so too. Okay. Noble Flyerman says he saw the CCTV footage and they'll still have a long way to go and all that. Talked about
who's that?
Noble Flyerman. I think we'll have a long way to go with that tactical input from the bench, and the pitch was horrible as well. He's talking about the game between Rivers United and Aimba that ended 1-0. So he didn't really like what he saw, but he believes that Aimba can actually make us proud.
We got something from Boston as well too. Gufora, you're saying it's a tough draw for Aimba, but you also believe they can progress from the group.
Yeah, absolutely, they can.
It pans out, starting with a win against Benghazi in the very first match.
Yes,
they're
all 3 points. 3 goals, 3 points, and then you start your journey. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Rosie.
Many thanks.
Appreciate your time, mate.
Many thanks.
Cheers. Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.